What's platinum? It's your neighborhood nerd thug. We're going to be talking about the Nine of Hearts today. Today is a special day. It's a universal day because we're talking about the Nine of Hearts. So, the Nine of Hearts is the card of universal love. It is the fixed card. Well, it's one of the semi-fixed cards, part of the semi-fixed family. And this family of cards is going to be the Seven of Diamonds, the Ace of Clubs, the Nine of Hearts, the King of Spades, Jack of Hearts, Two of Hearts. King of Spades, the Jack of Hearts, and the Eight of Clubs are the three fixed cards, and then there's the semi-fixed cards, the Two of Hearts, the Seven of Diamonds, Nine of Hearts, and the Ace of Clubs. Nine of Hearts is the card of loss and disappointment, but also it's the card of universal love. And in the early life, there's likely to be some sort of like childhood drama that occurred, trauma, that allowed for them to have sort of a negative imprint or outlook on life. But they actually have a great creative mentality. They can kind of manifest whatever it is that they want in life, provided that they heed the call to think positively and to let go of those emotional imprints of negativity that have been accumulated for so long. So there's kind of like the saying, it goes, they have the potential to express the higher manifestation of this card if they engage in the soft pain of acceptance, as opposed to the hard pain of resistance. So whatever we resist will persist. If you have resistance built up towards being someone who needs to let go of the desire to use any kind of money that comes into your life for personal use, you're going to have pain. Your life is a universal one. The Nine of Hearts life is a universal one. They have to have a universal approach consistently. Then the floodgates open, much like the Seven of Diamonds. You'll hear me go into the Seven of Diamonds. I will attack that almost in the same exact way because this is very special. It's unique. It's a unique grouping. The Seven of Diamonds, which is the millionaire card, is intimately linked with the Nine of Hearts. They are what is considered a karmic soul twin with the Nine of Hearts. So much so that their life paths kind of can be confused for each other at times. Like a lot of their life, you don't know if you're dealing with the Nine of Hearts or the Seven of Diamonds, depending on how their life is going, which is why you could see many successful Nine of Hearts people that have made lots and lots of money. But the moment that they start using it for personal use, that's when grief, tragedy strikes. We all know that no matter how much money you have, you could still be completely unhealthy, or you could still be hurt. You could be exposed to tragedy. So it is a card of great fulfillment. It's a card of loss. If that karma isn't dealt with, and there's many past lives that they have access to this sort of karma to work out, or they've had many past lives, but they're here to do a soul completion. Like all of the nines have a completion. And this is the first time I'm talking about the nines, except in the first video where we discussed kind of briefly all of them. But the nines have this sort of inability to deviate from what is true, from what is correct, what is right, because Saturn has swift chastisement. It has a swift rebuke. The energy embodying Saturn, because I don't like to think of, oh, Saturn's sitting there in the multiverse or in our universe with a ring around it, and it's literally watching us. No, it's just the influence that the quote-unquote traditional Saturn represents. And if you look at planets as dimensions, who knows? The fact that part of it is physically visible to us means that there's something there. What is it? Could it have an effect on us? Who knows? Regardless of the matter, there is this sort of taskmaster energy that is constantly governing the life of the Nine of Hearts people, and that is keeping them in line because they kind of have this lower mundane perspective that they have to let go, or they are gonna have to let go of, or they're gonna experience heartbreak and loss. Now, on the flip side, they can gain enormous success in the mental field, in the fields related to creativity, in the fields dealing with emotions. Their life purpose is to experience life through feelings, beauty, children, youth. They're dealing with relationships, love, marriage, groups of people. This is what their life is all about. And anything that's related to that, they're going to find fulfillment and happiness within that realm. There's going to be these, as I stated earlier, completions, their soul endings or chapter endings in their existence. And that's natural. They can't resist those. If they resist those, that's where the conflicts start. That's where the tragedy happens. That's where the losses are. If there's acceptance, I guess this is the way it's going to be. Sorry, you can't be in my life anymore. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's move on to greater pastures, or maybe even rougher pastures, but regardless, they got to move on. If they have that ease of letting go, also they have a need to be seen. They have a need to be heard. They have a need to be felt, mainly felt. And if the desire for that need to be seen overrides their giving nature, then they can be met again with disappointment, loss. And I keep mentioning this because a lot of times people with this card don't understand what their lot in life is. They're like, what the heck? I feel like I got the short end of the stick. All this crazy stuff happened when I was a child, when I was in my youth, and now I'm supposed to deal with life like everybody else. Like nothing like that happened to them. Like nothing. Well, there's a reason for it. And it was because you were supposed to let go of those experiences swiftly and gracefully. If you don't, then that pain can come in. And navigating that is what makes them super useful for other people. They can relate on such a deep level. People can relate to their pain and struggle on a massive level because they've been through the chaos. They've been through the loss. They've been through that soul completion, so to speak. And they're now available to others to sort of give. And that's, again, the universal giver of love. It would be a good way to describe the Nine of Hearts. They can have the best blessings when they adhere to higher callings and higher values of their nature. And they have it internally. They know what it is. They're fixed. They're semi-fixed mentally, so they can be perceived very stubborn. And if that stubbornness manifests itself as a desire to serve others, they're going to win. If it manifests itself as a desire to escape, or as a desire to experience grief and have a negative outlook, then it's going to sort of eat them alive. So they have a lot of gifts to share to the world, with the world. And once those gifts manifest themselves, they can bloom almost like a butterfly, like the most beautiful person that's been through this crazy amount of tragedy that is now shining a light upon everything that they see and touch. And then they're endowed with all kinds of blessings because those blessings are then transmuted and given directly to the world back again, because that's what they are. They're the catalyst, they're the conduits. They need to be seen and heard and felt, mainly felt, in a way that is positive, and they think positive. And if they let go quickly and easily, then they can do the greatest things. And Nine of Hearts. Yeah. Subscribe or something like that. I think we covered it. Oh, yeah. One more thing. Self-discipline is super important. It can give them that vitality that they internally crave if they don't have it already. And anything that gives you that innate capacity to mold a life that's fulfilling is going to develop them and help them. And self-discipline is one of those things. And any program that can help them engage in discipline. This video's gone a little bit longer, but maybe the Nine of Hearts needs it. You never know. If you're watching, people are watching that you are the Nine of Hearts, or if you know someone that's the Nine of Hearts, it's real stuff. It's true. It's real truth from within the Matrix. From beyond the Matrix, not from within the Matrix. How crazy. Cool. I think that's it.